name is Scott Nicholson, and I'm a professor of game design and development. I'm also in charge of the Brantford Games Network Lab, or the Begin Lab, where we make games that change the world. Reflective practice is where you ask the students to look at something that they've made, to be critical of it, to think about how they can improve it, and then to take another shot at it to see if they can improve their work. In our classroom, what that means is students have hard projects and they explore those projects, and then they try something and I give them feedback, and then they improve it and they improve it. I also like to incorporate peer feedback. So not only am I giving them feedback, but their peers are also giving them feedback. And at the end, they have something they're proud of. In game design, a lot of what we do is iteration. That is the idea of making something small and fast and getting feedback, having people try it out, and then improving it. That is at the heart of what we do as game designers. So building that into the classroom means that students are more prepared for that. It helps students understand how to take critique, how to give critique, how to improve their work based upon that critique. And at the end of the day, they have a much better project than if they'd only tried something once and then taken a grade and moved on. As a professor, what I get out of using reflective practice is more joy to grade. And so one of the frustrations as a faculty member is grading a project when a student really doesn't care, when they're just doing something quick and they just want to move on. And if they know they're not going to be able to move on, if they know that I'm going to give them feedback and expect them to improve, well then they tend to work a little harder and they are reflective about what they're doing. And so what I then get to see over the semesters, I get to see growth. I get to see these projects get better. I can help give students more targeted feedback because I can understand where they're struggling. And so what it does for me is it actually makes my grading process more of a joy because I'm getting to look at projects where students have spent more time on them. So at the heart of games is play, and I've done studies of what play is. And what play is the ability to fail within a confined space. It's that ability to explore, to try stuff, fail, and then move ahead. And that's how we learn. We learn about the world through play. Reflective practice is basically taking those concepts of play and bringing them into the classroom. Or you're telling your students, hey, I'm going to give you a big hard challenge. I want you to try it, see how it goes. And then you will most likely fail in some ways, and that's okay. We're going to celebrate that failure. We're going to learn from it and move forward. It also creates opportunities for me to have peers work with each other, that the students are put into groups and they test each other's games in my case and explore each other's projects and gives them feedback. And what that does is as the semester goes on, the students then learn not only how to take feedback and incorporate it, but how to give feedback as well. And those are both incredibly valuable skills for the workplace. So one of the biggest challenges is that students are used to a model where they do something, they get a grade, and they move on. And so we're breaking that model and helping the students to figure out how do you be reflective about things? How do you be self-critical? How do you look at something that you've put together and recognize and point out the flaws in it? Now, part of what I do to help students with that is I have them actually write a reflective piece in each of their assignments where they reflect upon what they made, and I ask them to be honest about what parts of this were easy for you, what parts of this were challenging, what parts would you like to spend more time on, where would you like feedback? By getting that kind of reflection from the learners about their projects, I can then be much more effective as an instructor in helping them where they need help, rather than just doing a blanket paint job of giving them comments on their papers or just looking at a Scantron and marking things right or wrong. I can actually help the students grow.